Good evening, everybody. Welcome. It is October 26th, and I am here to talk to you about my stitching. My name is Dina, and this is my channel about cross stitch. And I just want to take a moment and thank you for stopping by. I hope you enjoy what you see, and I hope you'll subscribe if you haven't already, and that you'll return. So today I wanted to stitch a little bit more on one of my roll the dice pieces. I have two left to work on, and so they each have 3 numbers assigned to them. And today one of the numbers I rolled was for in Autumne. I put in 274 stitches in it today, but yesterday I put 1,286 in here. So I've made some progress over the last 2 days. I wanted to share that with you. This is where I'm at. I finished the lady. I had started working on her. I had her hat and her hair done. And so in the last 2 days, I've done the entire lady and the pumpkin sitting next to her. So the next thing I will be working on with this is starting the little tower next to her, the little shelf tower, where there are birds and pumpkins and a birdhouse at the top. And then I have this bottom border to stitch, and I'll be done. So I think this is fair to say I should be able to finish this by the end of the year. Probably by the end of November would be good. So I'm going to put it away. I'm not going to stitch on it anymore today. I actually finally got my first video up in several weeks today, and I am celebrating. I'm so excited. My computer that I've been doing all of my videos on finally did just die. It would not allow me to do any editing. So I videotape all of these little segments every day on my phone, and then I airdrop them over to iMovie and, just string them together and edit out noises, Coco barking, me coughing, or, things that you might find very irritating. And it wouldn't let me do that. In fact, it wouldn't let me even review the video to make sure it was okay because the sound would just disappear. I couldn't hear what I was saying. So I couldn't tell if I was saying something incorrectly, if I had the wrong name for something, none of that. So on the last video that I tried to put together, which was the one I just put up today on my old computer, I got all the videos in and I couldn't edit it. And so I was just dead in the water. So I had to wait. My husband said, I think it's time for a new computer. So I had an iMac, what's it called? MacBook that he had bought me about a year ago in anticipation of the computer dying. And he said, you better get over here and learn how to use this before your computer dies. I didn't like it. It was very different touch, different feel. I had to do everything with my fingers. I don't know. I don't like new technology. Once I learn how to do something, and I get proficient at it, I just enjoy doing it that way. And so I'm a real scaredy cat when it comes to learning something new on the computer. And so I kept putting it off, and then my computer died, and I didn't know how to use it, and I was ready to jump in. I had to, and it locked up. Something happened with the operating system. We wound up having to take it to the Apple store, and they had to completely wipe it clean and reinstall the entire operating system. So when my husband finally got it back out of the shop, he'd been thinking about it. He could tell I wasn't really comfortable with it, not excited about it. And so, bless his heart, he came home yesterday and he said, would you prefer to have just another desktop and have everything look the same as what you're used to and work the same as what you're used to. And I said, yes, please, yes, please. And so he's going to take the MacBook for his computer because he's got an old one as well. And he gifted me with a new desktop. So we went to Costco and got one. And he spent 2 days with me. We cleaned off all the old stuff off the old computer that we didn't have to have. And he brought over just the things I needed to have or had to have. And so he got it set up today. I'm so excited. So I got my video up, got it edited, got it uploaded to YouTube, and it's published. And I apologize for such a long gap, but I should be back in business now. So hopefully it won't be so long. In fact, these two will be close together because I already have enough that I feel like I could put it out there pretty quick. And so I will. And you'll just get too close together. That's okay. So I shared with you my stitching. I've explained kind of my absence. And I think now I'm going to say goodnight. And I'm going to go join my family, my husband and my puppy dog, in a good night's sleep. We have a nice restful day tomorrow. We'll have church activities, but then we don't have anything else we have to do. Really, other than put together my next storage unit. My husband bought me a second cabinet over here with the little bins in it. I put a picture in my last video of the one that we put together that are holding all of my cross-stitch projects. And now he's got me one for my sewing projects. And same kind of thing, but I'm rearranging and figuring out a different storage system for that. And I'll talk you through that a little more once we get that set up and I can show you a picture of it. So thanks again for letting me share my love of cross stitch with you. And thank you so much, so many of you, for commenting. Let me know what you're working on and what you've been doing. If you've been doing the 3 months to the finish line, let me know how it's going for you. It's going like gangbusters for me. And I think partially it's just because those are the 6 things I'm working on every day and I'm not throwing in all my other WIPs. I have right now with the new starts I had over the weekend, I have 20 WIPs. I was really knocking those down with these 6 finishes, moving toward 7 finishes. Now I'm moving toward 8 or 9 finishes. But having 4 new starts this weekend kind of took away some of that progress, but that's okay. I needed things to take with me on my trip, so I went ahead and started them. So I'll share more about that with you as we go, and let you know how my November is going to play out. Because with only 2 projects left in my 3 months to the finish line, I think I'm going to par back and stitch only 2 to 3 days a week on that game. And the rest of the week I will be working on prompts. Because if I keep going the way I am and only stitching on these last 2, I'll finish both of them in the next month. And I won't be able to even finish. I won't be able to carry the game out any longer. I may finish it earlier anyway, but I think if I would go back to 3 days a week doing that, it would last a little bit longer for me, and that'll be a little more entertaining, I think, for me. So I'm going to say goodnight again, and I will talk to you soon. Happy stitching, everybody. Hi, I just wanted to add this in because I was starting to work on my next video because I mentioned there'd been a big gap and I had a lot of footage. And so I was working on putting one together about my trip to Alabama, and I realized that when I got home, I showed you the start of one of my projects, but I hadn't showed you the finish, and I did finish it. So I have completed my 8 Maids a Milking, and I wanted to show you what it looked like. Here they are, 8 different girls. Each color is there about twice, as far as except the pink and the yellow dress are there only once, I think. But anyway, each girl is a little different. And again, I did the grass in half stitches because I felt like you could see everything a little bit better in there. But I love the fact that all the dresses, all the colors in the dresses are in the fabric. I think that's going to make a beautiful berry. I'm looking forward to it. The wonderful news is that completes my berries. I've done them all. So now I have all 12 berries here in my little bag, and I will start working on fully finishing them in the coming month or two. Looking forward to having them ready for this Christmas. And I had forgotten to share that with you, so I wanted to catch that up. So just a little addendum here. Good night, everybody. Okay, Tommy's gonna put a picture up for me above the mantle, and this is how he's having to set it up so that there's a level mark above the mantle. Oh my goodness. It's about an inch below where it needs to be, but our tape is thick enough that when we put the tape on the line, it should be in the perfect spot to put the picture. But this is what I wanted you to see. Wow. He's not climbing up there. He's not putting any weight on there except for the little leveler machine. He used that little ladder next door to it to climb up so he could reach up and put the leveler on there. Amazing. Okay, the picture is up. There we go. There is the by the bay with all of the fall decor. Hello everybody, welcome back. It is Sunday night, October 27th, 2024. I wanted to give you an update on what I've been working on and to rectify a mistake. I left out one of my projects on my trip when I went to Alabama. I think I left it out because I have it electronically and it's a freebie. I don't have a good picture of it. So what I'm going to do is pull it up, hopefully, on my phone and get a screenshot of it. And I'll insert the picture here. So if you saw a picture, I was able to do that. But it's called Booze, Hisses, and Cross Stitches. And it is a freebie from Primrose Cottage. And I think I mentioned it, but I don't think I showed it to you. But anyway, this is my start. And I put 420 stitches in it. And if I did remember to show it to you, I apologize. I just don't remember having shown that one to you. And so that was another start while I was gone. That was start number 4. And I don't remember showing you anything but start 1, 2, and 3. So that's why I wanted to share that with you. Now, while we were at the retreat, one of the ladies there was working on her temperature tree. This is a pattern by Sarah Hughes on, I think she has an Etsy store, but she's on FlossTube as well. Stitchin' Mommy is her channel, and I watch her every week. I love her videos, Sarah. If you are watching, thank you for doing your videos. I just enjoy them so much. But Sarah is a designer as well, and she has temperature charts, several of them. But this one was one that I really liked, and so a friend of mine has actually purchased it for me and gifted it to me. So I have the chart, and one of the ladies at the retreat had been working on hers, and it just looked so beautiful. that several of us decided we would like to start it for next year and do the tree for next year. So I wanted to get ready for that. I wanted to prep for that. And we got together and picked a fabric that we all thought we would start it on. And we ordered the fabric, but the fabric's not here yet. And I saw this today. I was kitting up the floss for this new start. And I'll show you the mock-up of the tree if you hadn't seen it yet. But it is beautiful. And I was kitting it up today, and I thought, you know, I'd like to get that tree stitched. And I got excited and forgot all about waiting on the fabric, y'all. And so instead, I picked up a fabric out of my stash called Tsunami, and it's by Be Stitch Me. This is what the fabric looks like. And I think a temperature tree will look beautiful on this thing because it'll just look like a tree out in the middle of the field. And I only needed half of the fabric to put it on. So I started in the center, which is what Sarah recommends. And I got part of the tree trunk stitched today. This is the middle going down, and this is one of the branches. It's not the first one I'm going to need, but it is one of the first branches because you start on the left of the tree and you work your way around the tree for the year. So I've started making sure I'm getting the branches to the left, but I'm working my way down, and I think I got 2 branches underneath here I have to stitch before I could actually get started in January. But my goal is to get the whole tree trunk and branches stitched before the first of the year so that in January I can just start my tree, which means I will have to repurpose the fabric I ordered for this for something else, which will be fine. I can do that. But I am going to start this with my friends in January. I'm pretty excited about it. Now, the other thing I've done today is my husband and I put together another storage unit. And so I am tickled to death to have a second storage unit. And what I've been doing to get ready for that in the last couple of days is I went through all of my sewing fabrics, patterns, embellishments, supplies, and I was amazed. I used to make a lot of my own clothes many, many years ago. And then I quit sewing for a very long time, to the point where I would tell you now I'm not very good at it. I'm not sure that I will ever make clothes again. However, seeing some of these beautiful fabrics that I have that I had purchased for suits and things when I worked really gave me the itch to try it. So I very well may try it again. We shall see. But anyway, I did go through all of my sewing patterns, and I pulled out any of the patterns that I could no longer use, that were the wrong sizes, or that were crafts I've already made and wouldn't make again, you know, like a toy for someone that I made for someone as a gift for their grandchild. Things like that I'm just not going to do again. And I put them in a big storage box with a few sewing projects for outfits that I had started that will no longer fit. And so put them in there. And now I've got to go online and find out who might be interested in sewing patterns, if anybody, because I'm not even sure Goodwill wants them. However, I'd like to get them to someone who could use them if they want them, rather than just throw them away. But cleaning everything out was great. I whittled my patterns down when I first just dumped them all in these totes, these little tubs that you put in, the square cubes that you put in there. I had 5 of them. 5 of the 8 were full of patterns. And now I'm down to 3. So that's much better. The rest of those tubs now hold my cross-stitch patterns that are not kitted and are not designated yet on when I'm going to stitch them. They're just stash. And it holds some of my finishing pieces, you know, felt and things like that for finishing projects that I have over there ready and waiting to finish. I have a couple of empty bins, which is great because that means my stash has room to grow. And that's important because the next step that's going to be required is going back through the 2 closets I have down this little hallway back there and rearrange them because they've gotten a little messy. As I've picked up things at stores that I think, oh, I'd like to finish something on this someday, and I've got it stashed in there, and they're just kind of everywhere. So I want to pull everything out of there and really straighten those closets out so that I can see what I have and can get to it when I need it. So that's kind of a cleaning out, I guess, and rearranging. When you get a new piece of organizational furniture, it's kind of nice to do that and make things work pretty well for you. So that's what I'm doing. So that has taken up a good bit of my time today. We put that cabinet together. I had the bins already full. I did those yesterday. And so then I could just pop them right in. But I really like it. I don't think you can see it from here. Maybe you can. I'm going to move you just a little bit. And there you go. You can see it. So there's my new storage cabinet down there. My fabrics are in the drawers back here. And then there's the storage bins, my DMC, and then those are empty baskets waiting now for what I'm going to wind up using them for. I don't know yet. So, sorry about the movement. I'll put you back down. Hopefully, nice and still. So that's what I've been up to today. That's a great accomplishment for me. I'm excited about that. So I have been stitching this evening after I did some on that tree. I did get a little tired after 364 stitches on that new start of stitching in brown. And I know I've got the rest of the year to get that ready to go. And I just got in the mood to see if I had any other little whips that were close to finishes that I might want to finish up this month and get them off my whip list, especially after I've had so many new starts. And I've picked up Liberty Notes. I'll remind you what it's going to look like when you finish it. It's a sweet, sweet little shepherd's bush piece, and I have the button pack for it and everything, so I'm excited about that. But I put in this house tonight, and the little flower here, and the mountains. So now all I have left to do are these little flowers, the sailboat. No, maybe that's a pinwheel. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe it's a sailboat. I can't tell. And then I have a little bit more on the corner here to do. A couple of flowers and a little bee kind of thing. But not a whole lot left. It's just what's at this very, very bottom down here. Right here. And the house is the most intense stitching, and I've got the house done today. So my goal is to finish this tomorrow. Finish it, put the buttons on it and everything. I'm hoping that I'll get to do that. And if I do, then I'll consider that a great end to the month. I don't think that I'll finish anything in the next 2 days. I mean it, Donna. Because Donna's at home saying, oh no, you've got something else you'll finish. I don't think I will. Because I think after I do finish Liberty Notes tomorrow, I do want to put some extra stitches in some of my big projects. I'd like to get a few stitches in them before the end of the month while I'm not working on prompts or anything like that. I've already done up my spreadsheet with my acrostics that I know so far. I never can get, you know, the daily 30 group until the first of the month, and that's always a big one. But I've done my bingo board for November, and I went back to putting in the names of projects because I don't think I'll be rolling the dice that much longer, and even if I do, I only have to put 100 stitches for bingo, and then I can get back to whatever project I rolled the dice for and put all the rest of my stitching time that day on that project till I finish them. My plans are to finish both of them, but there's a lot of stitching left, so it may take me the month of November to get them done. I will be traveling in November, and so not till the very end of the month. So, you know, I'll be home for most of November. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to all the stitching, and I am thrilled with my new computer my husband gifted me as an early birthday present. And I've gotten my first video up, and I'm getting comments on it, so I know it's out there, which is great. But now I have to get ready with my friend Donna. We're going to be teaching a tutorial at our stitching meetup in a couple of weeks. And so she and I have planned to get together next weekend and put together all the materials and be ready for that. So I'm looking forward to it. Think that's really about all for tonight. Coco and my hubby are already in bed, so I'm going to join them. And then tomorrow should be a busy stitching day. I have an errand to run. I have to go by the bank and just do a couple of little errands out and about. And I'm going to try to get those done in the morning so that I'm home the rest of the day. That'll be great. I hope you are getting a chance to stitch, and I hope you're enjoying what you're stitching. And I look forward to sharing with you what I get accomplished. So happy stitching, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back. My name is Dina, and it is October the 28th, and I'm here to talk to you about my stitching. I'm excited because I've had a finish today. I was busy trying to decide what I wanted to put some extra stitches in, and I was looking through my cards. I have a card on each of my whips. I've shared this before. When I start a new project, I actually write on the cards the name of the design, the designer, the fabric, the day I start it, and then the day I finish it. So I have a little stack of cards in a folder, a little tiny book like this. And my cards in the front are in alphabetical order, and that's where my projects live. And then behind it, I put my finishes, and the finishes are just the most recent in the back. And I use these cards when I'm doing statistics or when I'm having to total up what I've done for the month, or, you know, figuring out my acrostics. They're very handy for figuring out acrostics because they have your name, your designer name, your fabric name, you know. So unless you're going for an object in your design, you have all the information there. But I started Liberty Notes on May 26th of 2024, and it was probably one of my Monday May starts. I'm not sure, but I think it was. And I've just been stitching on it a little bit for prompts as I've gone along, but it was a shepherd's bush pattern. This is what it looks like. And I found this at Annabella's, and it had the bead pack with it, and that is why I got it, because I thought it was so cute. And since they had the bead pack displayed right next to it, I knew I had all the buttons rather than beads for it. So I stitched it up, and today I finished it. So let me tell you what I've done. This is a beautiful 32 count Lugana, and the name of it is Fog from Picture This Plus. That's what it looks like. And I will cut this little picture out once I decide how I'm going to fully finish it, because I don't know how much fabric I need yet. But this is what I got. It's so delicate. I love it. A lot of it is stitched with one strand because the vines and the back stitching for the mountains and all the lettering, they're all done with one strand. So quite a bit of it is one strand. But I think it's precious. And there are several buttons. So there is a white star button on the flag. There's a blue, you stitch the blue background, then you cover it up with the white button, which is kind of funny. And then there is a red heart button here. There's a flag button right here on the flagpole. You stitch the flagpole. And then there's a little white sheep. Now, I had planned on using this in the month of November for an acrostic. And I was going to use it for an E because there was a U button on this thing. So now I got to go back and find me another E. But that's okay. I didn't want to not finish it just so I could use it for next month. But I'm excited about it because finishing this gets me back down to 17 whips. So right now I'm sitting at 17 whips. I would love to finish a few more before the end of the year because I have some planned new starts between now and the end of the year as well. I would like to start my Royal Games 2. I'm thinking of starting that for a new start, unless I know I am going to start it next month because it's on my WhipGo board. I did put it on WhipGo so I could get it done. So I'll have to come up with another new year, new start. My birthday start is going to be Rosie Rhapsody from Rosewood Manor. I have a beautiful picture frame already to go for it. I'm stitching a portion of it that will fit in this picture frame. And I've got a choice I've got to make on the threads. I have the fabric picked. I have two choices. I've got to decide between the two threads, but that is going to be my birthday start for this year. But so that's a couple of new starts. So I would love to finish a couple of things if I could, so that I still go into the year with only 17 whips. I think that would be great. I think I got down to about 17 whips before I started this year. And I've had a ton of starts this year. I don't even know how many. I've lost count. That's how many I've had. So I'll have to calculate that up before the end of the year and share that with you. But for now, I wanted to share with you this beautiful, delicate little finish. And it says Liberty for All. It says Brave up here, if you can see that. It's so tiny. And then this one on the side here says Patriot Dream. And of course at the bottom it says Sea to Shining Sea. Very cute. Very cute. Shepherd's bush patterns are always precious. They're very artistic. There's a lot of color changes. A lot. Because anything you get that is that delicate and has that much going on in it, you're going to have color changes. You just are. And but I didn't rush on it. I took my time. And between yesterday and today, I have stitched from here down. I had finished off about right here, and I think I had that little stem right there was done, and this border was done, and the wording was done. But from there down, I did between yesterday and today. So I'm really tickled about it. Very excited to have a finish, and I'm excited to get to share it with you. I will be Zooming tonight with friends, so now I have to figure out what I'm going to stitch on while I Zoom. I usually try to stitch on something that's fairly easy to see because we talk and visit, you know, and whatnot. So my husband's out walking Coco right now, and as soon as he gets back, we're going to have dinner so that I can be ready for my Zoom call with my stitching friends. I'm excited about that. I had lunch with a couple of ladies today from my church. I had to run, do some errands today, one of which was to drop off a piece to be framed. So I have one already being framed, and then this one was one I had wanted to take with me when I went down to Garon's framer, and I forgot it. And since I had pulled it out and had gotten all excited about framing it, I couldn't stand it. And I went ahead and I took it today to Hobby Lobby to be framed. And my friend Mindy wasn't there, but a couple of other girls were that were really nice and helpful. But the most fun about that was there was a lady who came up while I was standing there. She came up and she had cross-stitched to frame. And as they were talking about it and I looked over, I started complimenting her cross-stitch and found out she was the stitcher. And it was a gift for her daughter. And it was a beautiful, beautiful piece. And we started chatting a little bit. And so I've invited her to come to the library in November. I hope she'll come. She lives in Dahlonega, which is about a 30-minute drive. But when you're going to stay all day, that's not too bad, right? So I hope she will come. And I will let you know if she does. But it was great to stand there and chat with her. And one of the ladies that was helping the two of us said, "Oh, this woman here," talking about me. So this woman here brings stuff in here all the time, and her stuff is beautiful like yours. So I thought, we need to talk. We need to get to know each other. So I'm looking forward to meeting her. I hope that she will come stitching, but you never know who's standing right behind you in line. So that's fun. Well, I'm going to get busy now. I'm going to put all this away. I've got to unkit my project and update my card for the finish for today, and put it in my Stitch from Stash online and all the little things I do when I finish something. And then I will get ready for my Zoom call tonight. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to come back and share with you what I've been working on again. And in the meantime, happy stitching. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. This is Dina, and this is my channel about cross stitch, and this is a Tuesday. I am here to tell you what I've been stitching today. So today I took a free day. I took a day to stitch on something that I wanted to stitch on that wasn't in my 6 months to the finish line and wasn't one of my big projects that I'm trying to push to get ready for next year for a finish, but it was just something that I love stitching on, and it is something I would love to have finished by Valentine's Day next year, but we'll see. It's my Battecourie. I hope I'm saying that correctly. All You Need Is Love. And I think it is a precious, precious piece. And today I put in 1,170 stitches in this. Well, between yesterday and today, let me correct that. And I got the little girl almost finished. All that's left of the little girl are her 2 legs and her 2 shoes. And then I'll put the heart, there's streamers that go like a string. It's supposed to be like her pocketbook. And it's done in black DMC 310. And you do the 2 little squares there and you connect that. But since it's a long stitch, I'm going to wait and do that at the end. So I have her legs and shoes to finish. And I will have one of the 4 children completely done. So I think that's awesome. I'm excited about it. I love the colors. The colors are just beautiful. And there's not that many of them. So they're really, really nice. So I'm putting this away, putting it away for a little bit. I'm going to pull out one of my 6 months to the finish line pieces and put a little work in it. Because I have kind of taken a couple of days off. I did my Liberty Notes and finished it up. And then I started working on this. And so it's time to get back to one of my 6 months to the finish line. And I rolled the dice. And the one that was selected was my Christmas parade. So I'm going to pull that out a little bit and work on that some today. And get some more stitching taken care of with that. You can hear Coco. She can see her daddy outside. And he's not he doesn't have her with him right now, which is a bit much because he just got back from a long hike with her. They went 4 miles this morning, but she wants to be with him every minute. So you can hear her objections that he's outside and she's not with him. Sorry for that. I think that's about all the news this morning to print. My husband and I had breakfast out together today. We had some errands to do with an appointment at 10 this morning. So we went ahead and went out early and had breakfast. And then as soon as we got back, he took Coco for their long hike. I'm cooking dinner tonight, so I'm going to have to leave here in a few minutes anyway and go downstairs and get that going. But I'm hoping when I get back up here tonight that I can pick up my Christmas parade and put some more stitches in it for the evening. So I hope you're having a great week. I know I am. Was talking to a friend today and hearing about her. She and her husband were on the way to the gym, and she was saying she really likes to walk, but she doesn't really like to go to the gym and do the hard workout part. But bless her heart, she's going and I'm not. So she's doing way better than I am. Anyway, I just got through watching Ronnie and Gary's video as well when they talked about our retreat and the fact that we were able to come and visit with them a little bit. So I hope you've seen it and enjoyed it. I have a video prepared, pretty much ready to go about the retreat. And I was just trying to give a little time between the one I just put up and this one, so you didn't feel like you were seeing me in your feed every day. But it'll be up this week, and it'll give you a little bit more information about the Southern Treasures retreats, and I hope you'll check it out. All right, I'm gonna let you get back to your stitching. I'm gonna get back to mine, and hopefully I'll have some good stitching to share with you later on, either tonight or tomorrow. Happy stitching, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. It is Wednesday. It's October the 30th. We are almost at Halloween. Today I had a wonderful day. My friend Juliana came over to visit. She surprised me and brought me over an older printer that she's no longer using because I got a new computer, and she thought it would be great for me to be able to scan my documents in for my markup RXP and print my patterns, and so my working copies for those that I don't put in RXP. And it was just taking up space on her shelf. So she knew that I had saved her some of my storage shelving that I took down and replaced recently, so we bartered. And we did an exchange, which was great fun. So that was a lot of fun this morning to try to set all that up. And then we stitched, and we went to lunch together, and then we stitched some more. So we had a good day. Yesterday, I rolled my dice, and I decided to go ahead and start working on one of my 3 months to the finish line projects. I have 2 left to finish, and the one that came up was Christmas Parade yesterday. And I decided not to roll again today, just to keep working on it, because I had set myself the goal to stitch this little fox. I wanted to just finish that fox. So as it turned out, I actually finished a little more than the fox. I did the fox and a couple of motifs above it. So here's where I've gotten to now. And so I finished the inn directly above the fox. And then I finished the house above the fox. Yeah. So those were the 2 extras that I put in. So other than the bottom border going across the whole thing, this is complete all the way to here. So now I'll show you on the pattern what I have left to stitch. I've completed right here. So the inn and the house are done. So my letter O is also completed. So the P I have not done yet, but I've done this border all the way across. So when I come back, I have to pick up in here, and I have to stitch the P, this R, this heart, all the letters around here. and do the little bunny rabbit. That would be sort of the next section to stitch. And then the next one after that would be this precious deer and all of the things above it to the border. And then probably the last thing I'll do is this border across the bottom. And that will finish it off. Now, I have this on my acrostics for November because I knew I wasn't going to finish this in October. And I'm not trying to, so that's fine. But I'm going to put it away for now. And since I only have one other project that's in my 3 months to the finish line, I may or may not pick it back up tonight. I may take a break from my 3 months to the finish line stitching, and I may just pick up something else that I want to work on. One of the things I need to do is work on an exchange piece. I haven't even kitted it yet, so I want to work on that, and I may wind up kitting that and getting it started today. But if not, I had planned on picking up my nativity for my Miss Christmas Eve and trying to pack some stitches into that. But when I found out my friend Juliana could come stitch, I didn't want to be trying to concentrate on either of those two. And I decided I would continue with my die roll from yesterday and finish the motifs above the fox once I got through with the little fox. I just added some additional things to it that I wanted to do. Juliana and I were talking. My friend has had a very difficult time the last few weeks. Her husband has passed away, and he had a severe heart condition, and he succumbed to that. And it was a very peaceful passing, but it's always hard. And Juliana has sort of been taking care of all the business and things you have to do at that time in your life for the last couple of weeks. And this was the first time that she's been back to stitch with me, and we could talk and visit and see how things were going. And so it was a good time. It was a good time to be with my friend. And so I enjoyed that, Juliana. Thank you for coming. So while Juliana was here, we got busy and did some research on a retreat center that's not too far from where we live, about an hour away, a lot closer than the one in Alabama that we went to that we liked so well. So I've got two potential weekends that I'm trying to put together, one for a group of friends that was able to meet me in Alabama, and then another group of friends that are local to me, but a little bit further out, and I enjoy stitching with on weekends. And so I'm trying to get those 2 weekends nailed down with everybody and booked. And they're not until 2025. They're later in the year. But right now there's a special going on that if you book now, you get a discount. And so that's what we're trying to do. Trying to plan ahead a little bit. So I did a lot of telephone calling and talking and visiting and texting and messaging about all that today. So I've been trying to get that set up. But now I'm going to let you go and do what you've got to be doing next. I'm going to head on up to the church and go to choir practice. And then I will try to get a little more stitching in tonight if I can. But if not, it's been a good day. I've hit my goal, and that's important. So to me, anyway, I enjoy it. I feel accomplished when I do that. So thanks for letting me share it with you. I hope you're enjoying my Christmas parade as I'm working on it. I have been watching Jen Lee's 24 Hours Cross Stitch Marathon that she and her mom filmed, and I always do that. I love watching them do that. I am happy to report that on that weekend, that October 24 Hours of Cross Stitch weekend, I was in Alabama at the retreat with my friends, and I actually did get 24 hours of stitching in 3 days. So that was wonderful. Very successful for me there. Okay, I will talk to you soon. And until I do, happy stitching, everybody. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. It is November the 1st, 2024, and this is Dina, and I'm here to talk to you about my cross stitch. Well, welcome November. I'm excited to have a new month. I get to start a new series of acrostics, and I get to start a new bingo game, and I get to continue working on my 3 months to the finish line. And so I have a whole lot of wonderful, wonderful things to do. So let's get started. First of all, I want to let you know, after my Christmas parade stitching, for the next 2 days, I had a secret stitch. I'm having an exchange with some friends of mine that we kind of call ourselves the Lake House Stitchers. And when we got together at my house this past October, and we exchanged our Halloween things, we decided we would pick a cross-stitch themed freebie pattern to stitch for one another, or to stitch for ourselves, and we're going to kit for one another like we do. And so I stitched it. It took me 2 days to finish it, but I have fully finished it as far as the stitching. And I had an idea to fully finish it with, and I went to try to fully finish it that way, and it's not going to work the way it would work, but it wouldn't look as neat as I wanted it to. And so I've come up with a second idea, and I'm going to work on fully finishing it that way. And once I do, I'll film a little segment of it, and I'll hold it till after we exchange it. So you'll see it much later. But I'll go ahead and film it so you get to see it when the time comes. So my friend Donna, who always keeps me on top of things, texted me on Halloween and said, the morning of Halloween, and said, there is a pop-up challenge in the Daily 30 group, and have you seen it yet? And I said, no, I haven't. So I said, let me go look right now. So I went and looked, and it was to stitch 600 stitches in anything you wanted, as many projects as you needed to make it happen. But you had to stitch in the Halloween colors, and they were listed: brown, orange, green, purple, white, and black. And you could do any combination of those colors, as many whips as needed. And but you had to post your before and after pictures, and you had to list the record of how many stitches you did for each color. Well, I started a beautiful freebie pattern from Primrose Cottage when we were at our little retreat in Alabama, and it's called Boos, Hisses, and Cross Stitches from Primrose Cottage, and it has all of those colors in it, or at least most of them, and I think all of them. So I knew whatever I stitched on that I could count, and I pulled it out, and I got to working on it a little bit yesterday. So I did roughly 114 stitches yesterday on it. And then today I thought, well, I've got to buckle down and do them, because tomorrow is a stitching meetup for my guild. And I don't want to have to be worrying about trying to meet a certain number of stitches and posting everything and doing all that. So I wanted to finish it today. So I did. I got up this morning, tried to take Coco for a walk, and it was raining, so we had to wait till later today, but we got our walk in. And I did my phone call with my sister this morning, and then I stitched. And I had a quick lunch for myself. I went downtown, took myself out to my favorite pizza place right by myself. I just needed to run some errands, so I ran in there and grabbed a pizza and ate a couple of slices. It's one of those little ones. And came on home, and I've been stitching ever since, and it's now 5:30. So I just finished. I hit 611 stitches all total. And I can tell you I did 36 in the color orange, 296 in the color purple, and 279 in the color black. And here's where I got to. So I started with the word I started with the word hisses. I did the hisses all the way across to the end, the bird, the stars, and everything. And then I came down and did the and I went all the way across there. And the only thing missing on that row now is there is a gold star in the middle of that O. And I just haven't done that yet. But I already had 611 stitches, and I was ready to put this away. So this fabric, if you remember, is a beautiful fabric called Mind Blown. and it was by a dyer that isn't dyeing anymore, I'm sorry to say. But I had this remnant left over from my, when I think of stitching, from Puntini, and so I have this big piece left, and I'm not going to use all of it even for this one. I may use what you see here, and so I may wind up having enough for another small, or, you know, maybe even a long one this way. But I will cut it as best I can when I finish it so that I leave the biggest remnant, because it makes for great Halloween pieces. And so I finished my challenge. I'm so excited. I think Donna finished hers even before I did, but I'm glad I got it done. My bingo game started today, and the call today was for nativity. And I pulled it out today, and I did 103 stitches in the border. I just extended the border all the way down to the bottom and had 103 stitches and called it good, because I wanted to finish this challenge stitch. Had it not been for that, I would have worked on nativity all day today, but I wanted to get my challenge stitching done. So I did. So I've got my first square met on my nativity, on my bingo with nativity. And so that's exciting. So now I have to stop what I'm doing. I have to pack my bag for my stitching for tomorrow. I've got to decide what I'm going to take. I'll look at all my acrostics and see what I can take with me. I got to wait tonight and see what the bingo call is, because it could be that I could take that with me and get that done as well. And so I will do that, and hopefully have a great day of stitching tomorrow. I'm going to go to my friend Donna's house and meet up with her, and we're going to go stitching. And then when we get back, I think our plan is to go ahead and prep for our stitching meetup next Saturday. Get our fully finishing components ready for the stitching tutorial, the finishing tutorial that we want to do next Saturday. So I have a great busy day planned for tomorrow. My husband has said he's going to take Coco on a lovely long walk in the morning at the park, and he'll take care of her all day so that I can go out and about with my stitching, which is great. So I appreciate his partnership in doing that. And I'm going to let you get back to what you were doing. I'm going to finish up here with packing my bag and getting ready for tomorrow, because I'm going to go on downstairs and cook us a nice dinner, and then we are going to start a new series tonight. We're going to give it a look, see how we like it. It's been highly recommended to me, so I am going to look at it and see what we think. It's Matlock. If you watch, then you'll know whether you think I'll like it or not. But it sounded pretty interesting, and it might be something we could watch together. And so we're gonna give the first episode a look tonight. So I may not get back up here, is what I'm saying. And so I want to get everything ready for tomorrow before I go downstairs. So in the meantime, I hope to be able to film tomorrow night and tell you about my stitching day with my guild, and hopefully have some stitching to share with you. In the meantime, happy stitching, everybody. Have a great evening.